Yo, what is up everybody? I am back with another video. This is a very special video to me because this trick is so powerful and it is so good. Imagine having a spectator shuffle the deck, they cut to a card, they look at the card, and you have a prediction that you show them ahead of time and it matches with the prediction. This is what that trick is. It is super amazing, and I'm sure you'll be performing this once you learn it. Just trust me on this one. Please watch the video all the way through. It's pretty good. So anyways, let's get right into the video. Okay guys, so here is how the trick is going to work. So I did post a performance of this a few videos back. I'm going to leave the link for that into the description. So anyways, there's an easy way and a hard way to do this trick. So both of them work fine. Like the first one is a bit less hands off, like you do have to touch the deck more, but the harder version is like completely hands off, so that is why I like it. And you can have the spectator shuffle the deck, so that is why I prefer the second version, but the first version is a lot easier. So just a heads up. So basically how you want to start, there is a sort of a setup. It's not really a setup, but I mean you have to make a prediction. So basically just take out a deck, and whatever the top card is, which in this case the 3 of clubs for me, take out like a sticky note or something and just write that card down. So I just wrote 3 of clubs, okay? So you don't write like you will pick the 3 of clubs. I mean, you can, but I would just prefer to write 3 of clubs. So you can put that prediction inside an envelope, just like this, and then shut it. And then you want a preferably small envelope. Like this one is honestly perfect for me. It's like just about the right size for the card. Like, see how it's a bit bigger on the sides, but it can fit the card inside. So you don't want it too small, but you don't want it too big either. So I found this envelope is perfect size for me. I will leave a link in the description for some envelopes, just if you don't already have some at your house. I'm sure most people probably have some at their house already that they can just simply go to and find. That's what I did. But anyways, once you have that set up, so the card you want is on the top. This is the easy version, by the way. I'm teaching the easy version first, and then I'll teach the harder version later, okay? So basically what you're going to do is, since it's on top, you want to keep it on top, but you still want to shuffle the deck just to make it seem more fair. So you can do whatever shuffle to keep it on the top. There's one I prefer to do. So I like to just do an overhand shuffle like this, but these fingers are keeping, like they're holding onto this card, so that when I shuffle, it actually peels that card off with them, and then I can keep shuffling. So it just simply peels it off. I've seen that works probably the best. You could do some false cuts or something, which also works. I prefer like to actually shuffle it like this. I feel like this looks a lot better and it seems more fair than just cuts. That's what I've seen, but I don't know. Whatever you prefer, just keep it on top while you shuffle. Now you're going to set the deck down, and you're going to ask the spectator to just cut the deck anywhere they'd like. So let's say they cut here. Now what you're going to do is a force called the crisscross force. I'm pretty sure that's what it's called. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's what it's called. So it's called the crisscross force. So what you're actually doing is forcing the top card on them. So the 3 of clubs, I'm going to keep this face up so that you can see what's happening. So they're going to cut the deck like this. You want to say just set it to the side. You're going to take the other pile, which is so technically they cut to this card, but you're going to take this pile and turn it sideways and put it right there and say, okay, so I'm going to put this here to mark the card you cut to. So that would be more squared up. So really you're just forcing this card on them. So it does work. I've never been caught with this force. It actually does work pretty well. it works pretty well. So I wouldn't be scared of being caught with this. Trust me, it will work every time. So just so you know. So basically what's happening is, I'll do it with it face down now. So they cut the deck, and you take the other side and you turn it sideways and you put it there. And you want to make sure they know why you're doing that, because if you just do that, they're going to be like, okay. You want to say like, I'm going to put this here to mark the cut, and then you want to point to this. So like you want to say, I'm going to mark the card you cut to and point to that card, just to get it in their head that's the card they cut to. They will agree with you, even if you ask, so that's the card you cut to, right? I've done that before, and they'll say, yes, it literally just goes right by them. So then basically what you're going to do is, you can either go to the prediction first, or you can show them the card they cut to. I would prefer to go to the prediction first. So, but you can show them the card they cut to first if you would like. But I would go to the prediction, and I would say, you see how I had a prediction the whole time? You're going to have this envelope like on the side, so they'll see it's there. They might ask why it's there, and you can just say, that's just for later. You show them the prediction, the 3 of clubs, then you show them the card they cut to, so you tell them to take a look at it, and they see that it matches with the prediction. So that is a really neat trick. It does work. So if you're a beginner, I would recommend this version. If you're a more advanced magician, I would prefer you to see the harder version, because it is not that hard. So if you've been doing a magician, if you've been a magician for a while, this probably won't be very difficult for you. So there's just a few things that are a bit difficult. So we're going to get into the harder part right now. So this is the version I use. So you're going to do the same thing, make the same prediction, the same envelope. But like I said earlier, make sure it's like fits the size of a card, about this size, okay? Now, same thing as before, you want the card to be on top. That's in your prediction. So 3 of clubs in the 3 of clubs prediction. Now you're gonna start off the trick before the spectator shuffles. Just a heads up, you're gonna want a table or something to put this envelope down. It's gonna help out for future. So if you need a table, then don't do this trick if you don't have one. You're going to want a table if you're going to perform this trick. So if you don't have a table, don't perform it. If you do perform this, okay? Because it is very powerful. And I like this version because the spectator can also shuffle the deck, and it seems more fair. So this version, you start out by getting a pinky break on this top card. So the prediction, the 3 of clubs. You're going to get a pinky break right on there and push down with your thumb so the break is not visible from the front. So just like that. And you're going to put the envelope on here, just like so, just on your hand, covering the whole deck. And your excuse for doing this is because you're going to show that there's a prediction inside. So you show that there's a prediction, and then once you close it up, as you're closing it up, your fingers from the bottom, so since you have this break here, your fingers on this hand that are holding the envelope are going to take that card with the envelope. So now what you have is the envelope and the card. So you're going to take that away and you're just going to set it down. So the card is under the envelope, okay? Now you can give the spectator the deck so that they can shuffle it. So they can shuffle it as much as they would desire. They can shuffle it as much as they would possibly want to, so that it is completely mixed up. Now what you're going to do after this is, once the deck is shuffled and they give it back to you, actually they don't even have to give it back to you. That's what I like about this trick, is it's like completely hands off, pretty much. Now once they set the deck down on the table, you're going to ask them to cut the deck just like last time, except this is a fair cut. So they're actually going to cut it and complete the cut, so that the card they cut to is actually the card they cut to. Now, once they finish cutting the deck, like you asked, you're going to take the envelope with the card. So be careful with picking up the card and the envelope. That's another reason why it's harder is because it's harder to pick up the card with the envelope without it flashing. So usually if it's here, I would like to push down on here with my fingers and pull up with these so that I can grab it with this hand. And what I'm going to do is actually set down the envelope on top of the deck. So I'm going to drop this card on top. I'm going to try to center it so that this card is on top of the deck, as centered as possible, just like that. So as you can see there, I got it pretty centered just because I can feel where the card is with my fingers, so I can know where to set it down. So that looks pretty good. It doesn't have to be perfect, just make sure it's not like this, okay? Because that looks bad. And with this trick, you're going to have to practice it a lot. Trust me, especially this version, because it is a lot harder. So anyways, once they've cut to the card, they haven't looked at the card they cut to yet. So in this version, you're going to show them the prediction before you show them the card they cut to, because that's the only way you can achieve the trick. So once you have this, you're going to drop the envelope down and take both hands off and like push down and open up the envelope, and then you can kind of pick up the envelope and take out the prediction. That is your excuse for actually setting the envelope down, so that you can open it up and then pick it up as you're taking it out. They're not going to be fazed by this. It's just going to seem normal. They're not going to be like, oh, you had a card underneath the envelope and you dropped it on when you're... They're not going to think that, okay? Just, it is a good trick, so please practice this before you perform it so that you don't ruin it for other people. But basically, once you take the prediction out, you're going to open up the prediction and read it. So, 3 of clubs. And you say, take a look at the card that you cut to. Because you're not even flipping it over. It's not like you're switching it or anything. You tell them to cut it. So you really never touch the deck to their eyes. So that's what I really like this trick, is because it's pretty much hands off. Whereas the other one, you're kind of like putting the cut, which makes it a bit sketchy. I mean, it's not sketchy. It is really good trick, and it still will fool people just as well. But you are touching the deck, so they might think you do something, whereas this one is completely hands off. So once you read the prediction, you're going to tell them to look at the card. They look at the card and it matches the prediction. I mean, come on, that's kind of ridiculous, honestly. That is a pretty good trick. So I really hope you guys like this video. Please use this trick. Trust me, it is so powerful. But anyways, I hope you guys liked the video. If you did, smash the like button. And don't forget to subscribe, because it does help me out. And I would really appreciate it. If you like content like this, please subscribe and hit the notifications so that, or turn on the notifications so that you can know when I post a video. Anyways, that is it for today. So I hope you guys liked the video. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.